Hey people, it's that time again for the update. This one's going to be a December 2016 update. You can see over there it says update. Right now we're at 8:25 p.m. and the battery power is 83%. So I'm going to click on this thing and start doing the update. Just click on this guy. And you can scroll down if you want to and look at all this lovely stuff that they say, but they don't really give any information. So the main part of this video is going to be how long does it take to do the update and how much battery power does it use. I'm going to click on the download as we start doing the update. I don't know what the update's going to be. Word is if it's AT&T, it's going to be AAH995. If you have a DTEC 50, the update for December is AAH990. If you have a DTEC 60, the update is AAI039. If you have the Priv in Canada, the update is going to be part of November's update along with the security update, and it's going to be called AAH995. And the update's already complete. You can see down at the bottom, so I'm going to click on this thing, and that only took a few seconds. T-Mobile's got this update. AT&T has the update. Canada has the update, but Verizon has nothing because Verizon never has an update. They charge you a fortune, but no update. Sorry, you're not getting an update if you're part of Verizon. You might get it later, maybe next November, maybe November 2017. Who knows? All right, so this is going to be another boring video, but if you like my updates, or if you expect to watch them to get no information, that's cool. Do a thumbs up, subscribe, a like. If you want to go to the channel page and click on the support button and leave a massive donation of appreciation, I will never say no to that. So the whole update, you can tell it's a security update. It only took about a minute, less than a minute, half a minute to do. Yeah, while this thing is doing its update, I'm wiping the dust off of my brand new electronic piano keyboard that I picked up at the old Costco. Did a video on that if you want to watch that to entertain yourself. Trying to teach myself piano, what a nightmare. It is not as easy as you would think. It's so hard. I taught myself piano, guitar, kind of. I've got some videos on that if you want to watch that. And that was really hard to do. But trying to mess with this piano, it's the old, can you put your right hand on top of your head and turn it in a circle while you have your left hand on your stomach going in the other direction? And if you can do that, try doing that in opposite directions. Very difficult to train the brain to do two things at the same time that are completely opposite. So that's what I'm working on. I know a lot more theory than most people who play guitar or beginning piano because I've studied it a lot. It's kind of interesting. And it's helped, but piano is not so easy. I would say in the first day I knew my basic major chords and minor chords, the positions. Started messing with diminished and augmented and thought, why in the world do I need this? I've never used it in guitar and I will probably never need it in piano. So if anybody's got some advice on really good piano books, feel free to leave me a message. We're only 4 minutes into this thing, and it's still installing the update. You can see that little blue line. It has to go all the way across the screen. So what else is there to talk about besides the United States looking like a complete fool after our completely rigged election supported by Russia? Yeah, I know. If you have any anger about my comments, feel free not to leave any rude comments because I'll just block you. That's cool. Most of the country is not too thrilled with what's going on now. Rather embarrassing. Only the fools. I definitely will say that if you have lots of money, if you're doing well financially, you are doing really well right now because the market's going crazy and the rich are getting richer and the people in the Rust Belt are getting absolutely nothing, but risking the chance of losing their Social Security and their medical insurance and their Medicare and their government benefits and everything else. So I think they kind of voted to make sure that life is worse for them. And in a couple more years, they'll be begging. Remember when George was in office and they were begging the Dems to come in and fix the absolute mess that they were in? Which happened. You might not agree with everything, but it happened. The economy is better than ever. The U.S. actually has a better economy than most states, most countries in the world right now. So we're doing really well. And that's about to change. No matter what you think, no matter what side you're on, that's about to change. Our economy is going to take a dump. 3 times in our history has the GOP held Congress. They've held the Senate and the House and the White House. And we had a depression, a recession, and we've been in trouble. So it's going to happen. Not the end of the world for me. I will definitely survive. But who knows what's going to happen with a lot of people out there who thought this was going to change their life. It's definitely going to change their life, not for the good. So if you own a Priv, if you own one of these awesome phones, you're probably doing really well, and life is good for you no matter what happens. If you're too old, don't worry about it. The Dems are going to block the Social Security thing. Fascinating thing about Social Security. Why do the Republicans want to get rid of Social Security and privatize it? Has nothing to do with making the country better. All it has to do with is if they can get Social Security out of the way, they don't have to pay taxes. So the 1% will pay less taxes while the rest of the country suffers by not having benefits that they need. Everybody needs it. Let's face it. Everybody puts money into Social Security, and it benefits us all. And it's never going to go broke, and it's never going to go private. It will never happen. So we're 7 minutes into this, already getting ready to reboot. And when it does the reboot, then it comes up and wants the password. And then after the password, it goes and does its updating the 41 modules or whatever it does. And then it does put the password in again, and it's finished. I've got the phone propped up this time. Oh, wants the password. All right, starting up. I've got the phone propped up this time because I want to see if it helps eliminate the heat. Normally I keep the thing on a table when I update it, and there's a little bit of heat on the bottom. Not that I care, but still an incredible phone, best phone I've ever had, and I thought my Blackberry Bold 9900 was the best phone in the world. So this phone is awesome. I'm glad that BlackBerry is not disappearing. Hopefully things stay the same. It would be nice if this phone lasts a long, long time, but if it doesn't, or when it's time to replace, there's a very good chance I will, again, stick with the BlackBerry. I love the Android. I never thought I would. I did not want to get rid of BB7. I never messed with BB10. All right, we've got 42 modules. That's going to take a while. Starting 42 modules, it's 834. 834, so this has been going on for a while right now. But I will definitely stick with the BlackBerry name. Lots of people, they were complaining about BlackBerry 10, BB10, and how they didn't like the hub. People said they switched over to the hub. I never used BB10, but people said they switched over to the hub and they couldn't stand it. And that was one thing that really worried me about getting the phone. And I use the hub all the time now. The hub is awesome. Hub, 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 hub. So we are now almost 10 minutes into the update. We're cranking along with the optimizing of the modules. And yeah, again, if I pissed anybody off with the political stuff, that's okay. Last time I talked about health and losing weight, and I've definitely done really good. Dropped 18 pounds in the last 4 months. Now I'm kind of stable. I'm not really gaining, I'm not losing, so I've got to burn, I want to burn about 4 to 6 more pounds, and that is going to require some heavy-duty, high-output carb or fat burning to get rid of the fat part. But everything else has gone really good. So listen to last month's video if you want to get some info on cutting back a little bit, dropping your blood sugar, taking care of yourself. One thing that I will say that's really interesting that I learned, I'm not diabetic, but one thing I learned is, what is it, like one out of 11 people in the U.S. is pre-diabetic and they don't know about it. So there's like 11 million people that don't know about it. The really cool thing, get your blood sugar checked. The really awesome thing is that it's kind of a good warning sign. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. If your numbers are way up there, you are pre-diabetic for life, and you will never be able to undo being pre-diabetic. The neat thing is that you can control your diet, and if you control your diet and do some exercise, but mainly you control that diet, you can keep your numbers, you can lower your numbers, you can lower that pre-diabetic number to a safe point. And as long as you regulate your eating for the rest of your life, you should not ever become diabetic. You could, but chances are you won't. So a lot of people are really misinformed by their doctor. The doctor says, oh, you're pre-diabetic, we'll check you in 3 months, we'll check you in 6 months, we'll check you in a year. Your numbers keep going up and up and up, and next thing you know, you're on the needle because the doctor didn't tell you, get this under control now, and you will be stabilized, hopefully for life, and you will not go on the needle anymore. So it's an incredibly awesome warning sign that you find that out. Most people don't find it out. Most people don't know. And next thing you know, their numbers are up and they're diabetic and they're going on the needle because they need to. Now, they could be so high up there that if they corrected that blood sugar right away, if they went in for a hardcore fixing, they could probably drop those numbers down. But when your numbers are around I think it's 5.8 or 5.9, you got a big warning sign there, and it's a good warning sign because it's telling you, get yourself in shape now and drop these numbers. And if you drop them down to a regular position, a regular number, a safe area, you'll be okay for the rest of your life. And while you won't get rid of the problem, it won't progress. You shouldn't wear out the blood cells. You shouldn't become insulin resistant, and you should be okay. The problem is, if you don't get it under control, you will become insulin resistant. You will kill off those blood cells the blood cells won't be able to recognize the insulin anymore. Your liver will pump out so much insulin, and next thing you know, your numbers are going to be up, and then you're going to be dealing with neuropathy, numbing of the legs, maybe leg amputation, maybe going blind, maybe heart attacks. Heart attacks are really big. Strokes are really big because you've got lots of fat, visceral fat, and all that other stuff in your body, and it's slowly killing you. So, again, a really good warning sign for the awesome Priv people out there. Get yourself in shape. It's really nice to eat food. If you don't have a problem, you're good. Check your blood sugar. If you don't have a problem, have the doctor check it out, have the A1C1 test done, and do your own research. Just don't depend on what the doctor says, because a lot of doctors will let people slide because they don't want to deal with treating people like children and trying to get them to do what they really should be doing anyway. So get those numbers checked, and if they're way up there, just stop eating. Stop the sodas. It's your life. It's your future. Whether you're doing it for you or your family, or to be around longer, or so you don't suffer in a hospital. It's your future, so cut out that soda. Not cut it out or once a week, just cut it out. Take the rice, throw it away. You don't need rice. If you need to have a burrito, go to the store, get a burrito every once in a while. Look at the carb numbers on the labels. Really good piece of advice for a lot of people that don't know. A serving of carbs is 15 grams. On the label, it will say 15 Gs. Serving of carbs is 15 grams. The average person should be having 3 servings per meal, not per day, per meal. So that means that you should be having 15 plus 15 plus 15. You should be having 45 grams of carbs per meal. Your average soda is about 20-some carbs. Your average slice of pizza is about 30-some carbs. So if you go in and have a slice of pizza and a soda and some other stuff, you've already blown your blood sugar way out. Does that matter? Can you cut back on the next meal? No, you can't. That's the other important thing you need to know. You cannot cut back on the next meal. You need to make sure you don't go over that amount of carbs. 3 servings, maybe 4 if you work out really hard, then you need those carbs for building your muscles and working out. But if you're the average person, you need about 3 servings of carbs. So look at the label, make sure it says 1 serving, look at it, if it says 2 servings and these are the numbers, you don't want that. You've got to calculate 1 serving and look at the carb label, and if it says 30 grams, that is 2 servings. So if you have 2 servings, you've got another thing that you can have that's another 15 grams, and that's it for the meal. What happens if you overload and you have 60 grams? If you go and have pancakes and eggs and sausage and donuts, you've overloaded. Your body is trying to regulate the blood sugar. It's pumping out massive amounts of insulin to regulate it, and it overloads. If you're insulin resistant, then the liver just pumps out way more insulin than you need, and to try to correct everything, and you end up becoming diabetic. Your numbers go up. But if you correct this stuff and you start eating right, your numbers should go down. That is the thing nobody tells you. They should go down. They will go down, unless you are diabetic. If your pancreas or liver are just shot, if you're insulin resistant and the organs are gone, which happens if you keep doing this, you'll get to a point, you keep doing it, though that system will not work anymore. And when you get to that point, you're on the needle for life. Even if you regulate, chances are very good you've damaged the body enough and it's not going to work the way it should. Sorry about all this talking. Let me get a sip of water. I know I could have shut off the cam, but why do that? So we're almost done. 25, 35, 45, almost to 20 minutes. We're at 17 minutes. I don't know what the battery usage is. So get yourself in shape, really important. Not for me, but for you. Because it's definitely a good time to be living, so we can watch and see what the DT is going to do to this country and what's going to happen to the world. We're living in crazy times with crazy people and angry people and just so much stuff happening in the news. Incredible. I watch it and it's pathetic, but you can't help but laugh at all these fools out there. Unbelievable fools that think they're right. They're broke. They don't have any money. They don't have a job. They're begging for everything for the government, but then they're angry that things are the way they are. And they want it to stop. How many people say, don't give me Social Security, don't give me medical, don't give me benefits, don't give me help? A fascinating thing here, if you look back in history. And if you look, you don't even have to look back in history. You look at what's going on in the country now. Who collects the most government benefits in the United States? White males, number one, and all Republican states, all red states collect the most government benefits in the country, and they have since about 1960. So when you hear people say that it's other races or it's a bunch of slackers and they don't work and they're getting government benefits and government cheese, that is a lie that was started decades ago to fool the people. And it definitely worked. Kind of like the email server, it worked. People think that minorities and others from out of the country are collecting government benefits. Nope. It is, yeah, I'm white, but it's the white males, it's the white population in the Republican states that are collecting a majority of the benefits. And they got something coming to them when this new Congress comes in and decides to cut back the money on the people that put them in office. So, as far as Obamacare, come on. Obamacare is never going to go. The GOP has been saying they were going to repeal it forever. They have no plan. They have no idea. The insurance companies came out and said, don't even mess with the system or you are not going to know what happened because everything will fall apart overnight. And for those that say repeal it or change it, impossible. Even the GOP has told the Dems, we will go on your side and vote to make sure things don't get changed here because they don't know how to deal with it. There are no plans. There are no plans for anything. There are no plans for Mr. Pumpkinhead and what he wants to do. So, all right, where are we at? We're at 22 minutes now, almost 22 minutes. And usually the last 40, 41, 42 goes really slow. So I'm just rambling away, and we'll find out what the build is. AT&T, I bought the phone directly from Blackberry. They just had an incredible sale. They're probably going to have it all through December or on and off for the holidays. I paid a fortune. I think this phone's like $650, and I got it for $100 off or whatever I paid. Maybe $550, and I got some other things they threw in. The phone, I think now, and I knew this was going to happen, but I needed a phone. I've had this phone for a while. I needed a phone. I couldn't wait. The prices have dropped. I think they were just selling the Blackberry Priv for about $350. Incredible. Absolutely unbelievable. And so I don't mind that I spent the extra $200 because I love the phone. And they've got the D-Tech 50 and 60. I don't know what the difference is. I think they're cheaper down models of the Priv. But what an incredible phone. Android, I really like Android. And I'm happy that I got the Blackberry because at least I know it is getting monthly updates on everything. Monthly updates, the apps are updated every day or every other day. I've got 3, 4, 5, 10 things that need to be updated. I get the monthly security update. Blackberry Priv, Blackberry's already said that I don't know what the next version is after Marshmallow, but they are going to upgrade. They're going to update it, so we're all going to get the updates. What an awesome phone. I would never put money towards Apple. I would never buy an iPhone. I've never used an iPad. No, never, never, never. Okay, so we're at 20, what are we at? 23 minutes, almost 23 minutes. Let me put in the password. Rebooting, and we're at 8:47. We started out at 8:25. And what does that say? 70%. So it used about 13% on the battery. It always cranks out on the battery. It just drains the heck out of the thing. No big deal. Let me touch the back. Let me rub the back. Ooh, baby. Wow, the phone is definitely warm, but it always is when, yeah, the whole case. Well, I've got a case on it, so it's holding the heat in. So the back is warm, but I've had the phone in my pocket a couple times and removed it during a hot day, and I had a message saying your phone is going in whatever mode because it's overheating, it's too hot, and it needs to cool down. So that concludes my video. Takes definitely less than 25 minutes to do the December update, and we want to find out what is going on with the version, so let me go click on that sucker. Okay, let's go down here, About Phone, and what we have over there, I know the light's reflecting really bad. What we have over here is we got the model, my STV 100-1, Android 6.0.1, which is Marshmallow. December 5th is when I put in the update. I mean, I put it in on the 10th, but the update came out on the 5th. See, I know I'm slacking off. I'm a little bit busy with life, trying to help out the family during the holidays. And what is the number? Oh, there we go. So that was right. The AAH995 is the Canadian version and the US version. And the thing I said earlier about the AAI020, that might be the beta version. I don't know. All right, people, I'm not going to be doing this until next month, so I want to wish all the people that spend the time listening to me ramble a very happy new year for 2017 and have a good holiday, whichever holiday you celebrate, if you celebrate any of them, and if you don't, have a good rest of December. I'm going to go post this now. Happy 2017, people.